Altrincham have just had a resounding 4-0 win over Chester, and we're speaking to manager Phil Parkinson. Phil, Chester might sort of look to the sending off as a turning point, but you've got to take advantage of these situations, and we were pretty ruthless, weren't we?
We were indeed. I don't think there was a great deal in it in the first half. It was very nip and tuck. I felt we played our game, they played theirs. Not a great deal of goal mouth action, but you wouldn't expect that with two teams so close together in the league. I did feel that we upped it in the second half, even before the sending off. We looked more like we were on the front foot, we looked more likely. Obviously Burton being sent off, he's going to have a huge impact because he's a big player for Chester, but for us we really made an instant impact with regards to scoring so quickly, taking advantage of that. And then when we're sort of in the lead there, I really fancy us because the way we play, we're in control of possession even when it's 11v11. So for me, unless we do something silly at the back, I felt like we were in complete control in the second half.
And Josh Hancock was very much at the heart of making things happen, wasn't he? I mean, he'd scored 2 goals before that. The all-important opener is a brilliant little surge into the box for him to lay on the goal for Joe Piggott, wasn't it?
It was. All the front lads really performed well today. I thought it was a real interesting battle. Both wingers for both teams, I feel, are big assets, and I thought both fullbacks did really well. It was a great battle to watch. Obviously Andy White and Connor against Marn and Mooney, and obviously JJ and Cisse for us against their 2 fullbacks. And I thought the young lad for them did really well. And so did Bradley Jackson. So it was really good to see that you saw 2 teams really trying to outwit each other in terms of the wide positions, and I'm glad to say we come out on top there.
Just reward for JJ's goal at the end, because he kept plugging away, doesn't he? Which is what he does. I mean, he can maybe win a battle, then lose a duel with the fullback, but he keeps coming back for more, doesn't he?
He does. He's a constant threat. I mean, people are always going to get on JJ's case because they'll sort of say, well, why has he not scored a goal? Why has he not put the perfect cross in? But he's a constant threat. If you watch when we play opposition, and they did it today, both winger and fullback double up on him, and it was the same the other side with Yusuf. I know they were here watching midweek against Spennymoor, so obviously they've looked at that and they identified the threat. We identified that when they do double up, can we come inside and get our fullbacks going, or Josh Hancock, and we did that at times really well, but there's other times we could have done it a little bit better. But listen, it's been a great day today. To get the double over Chester is fantastic for us, especially with the league position where they were 1 point behind us. I know we had the game in hand, but it just gives us that little bit of breathing space now, and we need to open up that gap even more if we can. Because listen, Bernard and John are a very good management team. Obviously they've won the championship last year, so they certainly won't be accepting that, and I know they'll come bouncing back after that. But for me, it's a real good day. The players deserve all the plaudits they get because they executed everything we asked them to do. I said at the Spennymoor game that when people were getting a little bit unsettled, even though we lost, I knew we would bounce back. I knew we were starting to play again, and we got 6-0 against Cers and 4-0 against Chester. We can say what we want about the man sent off, but you still got to score. Sometimes it can go the other way when a man sent off. The team really dig in and they can get something, but I thought our quality throughout was outstanding. And listen, the pitch isn't ideal at the moment. It's really bobbly. It probably doesn't suit us at the moment, but we're still able to play that brand of football that I don't see many teams at this level do.
Yeah, 10-0 since the Spennymoor really speaks for itself, Phil, doesn't it? Just a word about Yusuf. I mean, he got kicked a couple of times in the first half. You think that would put a lad like him off? But he really did keep going, didn't he? He got better in the second half.
Well, I think people think that of all wingers, don't they? I don't think it's just Yusuf. I think that's one of the ploys of most fullbacks. It's always been the same case. Give them a kick and see if they'll come back for more. But I'd like to think my players have got a lot of character and they always come back for more. They've always got that resilience, mental and physical. So yeah, I never doubted Yusuf. We just give him a few little pointers at half-time in terms of when they were coming tight to him, where to exploit the space, because he's a big rangy player. He wants space to run into. He reminds me a little bit of Liam Shotton, who had at Nantwich. So yeah, hey, listen, I thought all the front lads did great today, but it was a real good battle. It was a close encounter. Obviously 4-0, we deserved 4-0 in the second half, but with a man down, it's always going to be tough for them. But we've still got to go and score 4 goals and keep a clean sheet. So I'm really pleased with both ends with regards to offensively and defensively with outcomes.
It was a great day all round, really, wasn't it, Phil? Because it was a great second half, a resounding win, and a really good turnout and good vocal support. Yeah,
the fans were brilliant today. I mean, my son was here, so I wanted him to experience them in full flow. I'm going to have that Jordan Hume song ringing through my ears all night. It's a song I actually know. I've heard it that much now. I'm terrible with songs. But yeah, it's a great time to be at Altrincham, isn't it? I mean, when it's like that, it's bouncing, it's buzzing, and we know it's hard when we lose because the expectation's so hard and it is difficult for us to take. But what I always tell to my players is, do you want to be somewhere where it's comfortable if you lose? And it's certainly not here, but I tell you what, it's amazing when you win. It's the best feeling in the world. I can't explain to people how good it feels when you win here. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and obviously you want some momentum going with getting into the run into the end of the season, and that's 2 really resounding wins. It's important now, isn't it? We keep it going on Tuesday night against Blythe Spartans.
It's massive. Every game is huge, but I must reiterate, I won't go away from my beliefs, what me and Neil have tried to install in these players. People bang on about it's all about results this time of year. There's still 10 games to go. Maybe last 2 or 3 it might boil down to that, or the playoffs. But if we perform right, we will get results.
And you've got options up front, Phil, haven't you? Joe Piggott scored again, and you've got Jordan back from suspension. How difficult a choice was that to stick with, to go with what you went for, or to bring Jordan straight back in?
There's 2 ways of looking at it. You either try and keep a player happy like Jordan because he's a massive player, or you stick to what you believe in and play a lad who deservedly stays in the team after scoring a hat-trick and has done nothing wrong. So although Joe's on loan, he's fighting for his life to stay in the team because he knows Jordan's breathing down his neck, and Jordan come on there, I think he got 30 minutes. He looked great, so Joe's got to keep doing what he's doing. But there'll be a time and a place for Jordan to start a game, and Jordan will be massive for us going into the run, the final run-in.
And finally, talking about attacking options, you've added to that with the arrival of Matt Chadwick, who's at Ashton. We know all about him from Ashton United. I think he scored twice against us in League and Cup last season. A really good acquisition.
He is. Well, I think he is. I tried getting him at the back end of last season, but loyalty's massive, and that's why I went in for him again. He wanted to stay and make sure Ashton went up, and I've got to give him full credit for that. So as soon as the opportunity come across, I actually saw it on social media, the fact that he was leaving, so obviously jumped at the opportunity to try and bring him to the club, because I think impact wise he could be really, really big for us again going into that final run-in.
Fitness wise, is he nearly okay?
Hopefully. I think he had a bit of a car accident that we weren't aware of previously before he come, and he headed a ball in training and it really affected him. So in the warm-up there he looked $1 million, so if we can just sort of get him where he's not feeling uncomfortable heading the ball, not that he does that a great deal anyway, but smashing it in the back of the net like he was in the warm-up. He looked up, I mean, Josh Hancock can hit it, but Matt Chadwick's right up there with him. I don't know how the net stayed on when he hit some of them, but yeah, fantastic acquisition for the club.
Great stuff. Those are the thoughts then of Phil Parkinson after what's been a great afternoon for Altrincham. It's finished here, Altrincham 4, Chester 0.